Hello, welcome to episode 95 in the Datapack tutorial series, version 1.21. We're going to be doing faster path blocks. So when you're on a path, you move faster. Pretty simple. Here we go. We're on the path. We move faster. There we go. That's it. Simple concept. We're going to do it in two different ways, though. We're going to do one way using sort of like potion effects, and we're going to do another way using attributes. Okay, enough waffling. Let's get on and build it now. Right, we'll start in VS Code like we usually do. Let's create some files and folders. So inside my namespace function, a new folder, somewhere to put my functions just to keep them tidy. I'll call it path. And we're only going to have one function. New file, and we'll just call it onPath. Well, we'll call it onPath.mc function so it actually works. That'd be a bit better. Okay, then in my namespace, new folder, predicate. Our predicate we will call onPath.json, and then inside my namespace, a new folder called tags. Inside tags, a new folder called block. Inside block, a new file, let's call it, I don't know, fast block. This will be a list of the blocks that make you go fast. We're only going to put path in there. But we do it this way, then you can add any extra things you want. No problem at all. In fact, we might as well start with this, since we're just going to make it ourselves. So we'll open curlies, and we'll have some values, open square brackets, and what block do we want? Minecraft, dirt, path. There we go. So if you wanted more blocks, put a comma. If it's not the last one, it needs a comma. So this will have a comma, and we could just say Minecraft stone. There we go. Note the last one doesn't have a comma. And then we would go fast on dirt paths and stone. But I'm just going to have dirt path. Save. Let's get rid of that. Let's do the predicate. And for that, I think we'll go to misode just to make it a little bit easier. Let's pop up to misode predicate generator. Okay, condition, entity properties, entity, this, predicate, stepping on I think we'll have. And we'll say block, and the block will have as a string, and I'm going to type a hash, and then it's going to bring up a lot of block lists, and I'm just going to pick any one. I'm going to pick acacia logs, okay, because we're going to replace that with our block list that we just made. So that looks fine. Okay, let's copy that. Let's take it back. Let's put it into our predicate. Now we obviously don't want to check for acacia logs, so let's remove all of that, hash, and let's start typing our namespace. There's as IDYT fast block. If you don't see it there, you're probably not in namespace, tags, block. That's where it should be. So you might have the tags in the function file or function folder, something like that. If it doesn't autofill, it's in the wrong place. Okay, so now our predicate is going to say, are you stepping on any of the blocks in here? Cool, that's done. And now let's go to onPath, the only thing we've got. And we'll do it two ways. Let's do effects first. So let's just put a little onPath, and then we're going to do a schedule. Okay, so let's execute as, lovely, stop it, execute as any player whose predicate equals onPath, run, effect, give that player Minecraft apparently without the A, but it doesn't matter. And we'll look for speed. There we go, speed. Let's do 1 second, an amplifier of 1, and we'll hide the particles. True, okay? And now we'll schedule this to run again. Now we're not doing this in tick because we're not going to run it we're not going to run it 20 times a second. We don't really need to. I mean, you can if you want, but every half second or second is going to be fine. So we're going to do every half second. So after it's checked and it's given them speed, it's then going to schedule function itself for 10 ticks. So it'll do this command, and then it'll come down here and it'll say, right, in 10 ticks, run this again. That's good enough. Let's save that. Let's go back. Let's do a reload. Well, let's not do a reload. Let's just have a walk on it first. Okay, normal. Let's do a reload. And to be honest, to me, that seems normal as well. Why isn't it working? Well, let's have a look. We have our onPath function, and it is checking if it's on the path, and it's giving them speed. This is all fine. But nowhere are we saying this function needs to be running. It's scheduling itself. That's fine. But nowhere have we started it. So let's copy function path, and let's go to load. And we'll start that function. There we go. So now when we load, it starts the function, and then the function will keep calling itself every 10 ticks, every half a second. Right, well, let's go back. Let's do a reload. Let's get on the path. Hey, now we're going a little bit faster. Not much. Let's press E. Yeah, we can see we've got speed 2. It's only ticking over. Let's get off. And we go slow again. So you can see there's a little delay when we get on. Oh, there we go. And when we get off, there we go. But instead of checking 20 times a second, we're only checking 2 times a second. So that's got to be better for performance. I mean, if you wanted to, you could literally just take this command and put it into the tick function, and then you'd be checking 20 times a second. But I think it's for performance, I think it's worth having that little delay. Right, we've done it one way. Let's do it a different way. Instead of using effects, let's use an attribute modifier. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we want to remove the modifier. Remove modifier. And then we will give modifier. Okay. I'm going to do the give first, because the remove requires an ID, and we don't have an ID yet because we haven't done the give. So let's execute as all players. Predicate equals. Oh, we've got double equals, which is why it didn't find it. Predicate equals on path. Then we will run attribute at S. And we'll check movement speed. Obviously, you can pick any of these you want. You want to do something differently. Maybe they get onto the path and suddenly they've got a massive jump strength. I don't want that. Movement speed. We'll add. Now we need to say modifier. It is a modifier. We will add. Now we need an ID. Really, you can pick whatever you want, but maybe it'd be better to do something like your namespace, movement speed, or something like that. I'm just going to call it speed mod. No, I'm going to call it sped mod. Speed mod. That'll do. Maybe I should put an infernal device at the beginning there. And what value? Okay, well, we don't want a very high value. We want something quite small. Let's do 0.05. And we'll add that value onto their speed. Okay, so we'll go on the path. We'll get that. In fact, we can test it. Let's do a reload. We'll go on the path. We'll get the speed, which is cool. You'll notice we don't have the icon here now because we're doing attributes. In fact, we can do data get entity at p attributes. Well, we can if we spell it correctly. Attributes, and we can see movement speed has a modifier on it, and we can see it's got an amount, and it's got an ID of Minecraft.id speed mod. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll remove that. So we will attribute as all player. No, we'll execute as all players. Yes, I think that's all we'll do. We'll execute as all players. Run attribute that player. Where's speed? Just so I don't have to type it all again. Not sneak in speed. Movement speed. Something has happened to my brain and I can't see anything. Movement speed. There we go. It's a modifier. This time we're going to remove it, and it'll say, what's the ID? It's got our ID there for us already. ID. Save. Okay, let's go back. Let's do a reload. Yeah, we're definitely going fast. Let's get off. And we can see the field of view change anyway, so we know we're going slow again. Get back on. Fast. Okay. Done. 2 different ways to do it. Obviously, if you want to, I think the attribute way, you could probably go quite a bit faster. I mean, you just have to set this to something like 2, and it's pretty insane. Oh. Well, okay, now I'm all the way over here. Yeah, you don't have to set it very high before it goes a bit crazy, so make sure you set it to quite low numbers to do your testing. But one way gives you access to all the attributes, because obviously you don't have to add speed. You could be adding any of these attributes, so you've got all of these. And the other way gives you access to all the effects. So you've got access to all of these. So advantages and disadvantages in both ways. Okay, I think we'll leave it there. That's enough waffling. Now, paths actually make you go quicker. I kind of like that idea. Quite useful. See you later. Take care. Bye-bye.